the Helping Hand of 2023 focuses on increasing our awareness and support for clean water projects, which is a key issue. Clean water, access to clean water is very key and also very central to God's heart. No wonder in the Bible, clean water is mentioned very many times. And we see right from Genesis, God beginning by creating water. Life began with water. I know you have been involved in this work. Could you tell me in a nutshell, how many years have you been involved in water projects in Malawi?
Thanks very much, Violet. My name's Mathews Tulombolombo. Through your word, I am the project manager for WASH project, responsible for water hygiene and sanitation project within the territory. I've been actually managing the project for 10 years now, and currently we are in a fourth year of a 5-year project, which is ending next year.
I know the lack of clean water, sanitation, and hygiene can mean the difference between life and death. And it is so in many communities in Malawi. Could you tell me how your project works with the community in enabling them access safe clean water, sanitation, and hygiene?
The project is working in areas which are underserved and, of course, under prioritized when it comes to issues of water, hygiene, and sanitation. When we did our baseline surveys, it was actually discovered that there is no water sources within the area, and issues of hygiene and sanitation is very low. Issues of cholera is rampant, and issues of diarrhea is also rampant among children. So we came in as a project to make sure at the end of the day we're able to support these people with the clean and safe water, and of course train them on issues of hygiene and sanitation. In this case, behavior change issues within the project catchment area. So since we started the project, we have really registered very good success, and up to today we are sustaining those successes through the trainings which we are doing to capacitate the communities, that as we exit the area, the skill is still there, remain with them to continue with the activities.
That's great to hear. I know you work a lot in schools, supporting schools to improve the access to clean, safe water, and also hygiene and sanitation. Research indicates that hand washing alone results to children growing smarter and stronger. Have you experienced that in your project?
I want to agree with you 100% that hand washing alone is a key when it comes to children being smarter as in school, even smarter in a community where they are, in everything that they do. When children are sick because of maybe of hygiene, they don't actually observe the hygiene practices. They are always in hospital. Their health is also compromised. And when you are sick, you can't attend to classes. When you are sick, you can't absorb the knowledge which the teachers are actually trying to actually impart on you. So when the project came into the catchment area, we are working in school, working with these children as agent of change. We have seen a dramatic change in the way how these children are doing at the moment, because they are no longer waking up very early in the morning to go and start fetching water. They are always in school on time to listen to the teachers and to absorb the knowledge which is required. As a project, especially on the girls, we also distribute sanitary towels alongside painkillers, because we bought first aid kits to make sure that girls, they don't remain at home when they're menstruating. There's always in school when they have those stomach cramps, there's always Panadol or Brufen available in the first aid box, which they take. After taking that, they go into class. We distribute those sanitary, this recyclable sanitary towels to students to make sure at the end of the day, they're always in school. We have also, we built, these ablution blocks where there's a room specifically, a washroom where when the girls that menstruating, they can go and change. So all these facilities are in place to make sure the school is conducive for girls and conducive for boys too.
Thank you. And it's very great to hear how you emphasize the need to improve the dignity and the self-esteem of girls and retaining them in school, because that's very key to ensure that the girls are also included and retained and learn and have access to good quality education. I know you've been involved in this project for many years. And many times when I visit, I see the involvement of the core officers. Could you tell me in a summary, how are the core officers participating in the day-to-day management or the activities of this project?
When we are starting a project, the project is not generated from THQ or it's not generated where I'm sitting. The project is always generated in the communities where these people are. So it was the co-officer for Karonga when his community came with a request for water and hygiene services within the area that this request came, and out of that we developed this project that we are doing at the moment. So when the funds came, we went to work in the area through the core structures, divisional structures, which are there already existing. So working with officers is not a question to us, it's a must. When we go there, we work alongside them to make sure the activities that we are introducing or doing in the communities benefits all the people in the communities equally. Officers are there attending trainings, officers are there doing the project monitoring, officers are there attending to the spiritual needs of the communities, project participants that we are actually serving. So they work hand in hand with us.
It's very encouraging to hear how the mission and the community projects are complementing each other. From your experience, how has this project impacted the lives of the young people, the women, and the men as they participate in the activities of this project?
In our project here, young people play a very big role as far as the water hygiene and sanitation project is concerned. The project introduced sanitation clubs in schools or schools within the catchment area, targeting the school-going children so that they are trained on issues of sanitation and hygiene. The same message is also taken at home because we are using these children as agents of change. So when we teach them in school, we expect them also to take the same message at home to their parents. What we are concentrating much is on the behavior change. That's what we are concentrating much as a project, especially when visiting the toilet, when actually eating, and again the general hygiene of a person, as in taking a shower, washing of clothes, drinking good water, taking proper food. All these are issues that we are concerned. Make sure at the end of the day, any person is healthy. So when we target these children in school, it's a deliberate move so that when they learn in school, they take the same home where their parents are. And these children can influence a lot at home, among their peers at home, among their parents at home. They can influence a lot of things. So we have seen that there's a lot of change. There's some information in school, we find there's also the same information in the community, meaning the change is happening. What's happening in school, the same is happening in the community. So we are using them as agents of change. So the young people have really taken this up. The issue of toilets is being also influenced by the children because they go home and demand such kind of things to happen in their household. So you find parents are digging toilets, they're building permanent toilets. So their involvement is crucial as far as water hygiene and sanitation project is concerned. We have also women who are also playing a very important role in the project, women and men. Most of the women are now in decision-making positions in the project, including the village sanitation committees. They are there heading such kind of committees. So you're going to see that they are well involved in decision-making, because when you're talking of water, hygiene and sanitation, women are very much actually involved, because a day can't go without a woman actually touch water. Once they wake up in the morning, the first thing is water. The first thing each and every morning is water. So water is crucial to them. So we want them to be in control and be in the forefront when it comes to issues of water hygiene and sanitation, because they are always also in the forefront. Take care of the children at home, fetching water at the household level, cooking of food. All these concerns women. So their participation in issues of water, issues of hygiene, issues of sanitation is so crucial if you want here to end cholera and diarrhea in the project catchment area. So this is what's happened as pertaining to involvement of young people, women, and men in the project.
That's great to hear. I know you implement a very integrated project. It's not only clean, safe water, but you have other aspects that you also include in the project. Could you tell me a little bit about the other aspects of this project?
As pertaining to water hygiene and sanitation project, which we are implementing, we have also elements of food security, where the project want to make sure that there is enough food at the household level in the community. So we are promoting conservation agriculture, where each and every household has a 16 by 39 garden where they practices conservation agriculture. They mulch their land. After mulching, they plant. After planting, they also take care of all the necessary principles of conservation agriculture until they harvest. So the uniqueness of conservation agriculture, in this case 16 by 39 garden, is if you harvest your food there, you are able to eat throughout the year, a family of 5 children. Yeah. So that's also one of the elements we are actually promoting in the project. We're also promoting people to cope with the climatic disasters which are happening across the country. We have floods, we have drought, we have strong winds, we have earthquakes. So we're trying to build the capacities of our people so that they are able to cope with this kind of disasters. The final element is about women forming groups and actually access loan money so that they're able to do business. So there are groups formed. Women, they form groups. After forming groups, they actually mobilize money. They gather money together, they contribute money, and that money is loaned out to the group, and is loaned out on an interest. So when they are meeting, their contribution they make, and they loan the same money to the same group on an interest. So the fund grows as they loan out on that interest. And these groups are crucial, as the money loaned out enables the women to go out and actually get involved in doing small businesses to take care of their family. So this is
great to hear, Mathews, about how you're integrating all the different aspects just to increase the capacity or to benefit the community in a wider way. And there has been lots of talks on how climate change is impacting access to water and all other resources. From your experience, would you say that the climate change has impacted the frequency of the disasters in Malawi?
In Malawi, we are experiencing a completely strange weather pattern. We have cyclones now, which we have never experienced before. You remember last year, but one, we had a cyclone Idai, which hit the southern region. Almost 15,000 people were affected. Last year, we had cyclone Anna, which also hit the same areas where we are hit this other time. And this is the first experience to Malawi in terms of having cyclones. We have floods. Each year, as I'm talking to you now, it's flooding in Malawi. There's a lot of water around, and a lot of people have been actually displaced. If we just alternate, if we don't have floods, then you are talking of drought. If we don't have drought, then we are talking of flood. And when it rains, it's just a lot of water at once, which are not also good for agriculture activities. So it has really impacted us. A lot of water sources has been contaminated because of floods, which has really affected the water points that we actually having in the communities. Most of the rivers and the streams, which were being relied upon for agricultural activities like winter cropping, irrigation, all have dried up. They only run during the rainy season. Once the rainy season is over, all these streams have dried up. Previously, this was not the case. They were running throughout the year, and people were using the same water for irrigation purposes to make sure food security is attained at the household level. And we had shallow wells, which were there before. People could go and scoop water from the shallow wells, but now they are only available during the rainy season. Once the rainy season is over, all these shallow wells are dry. We experience hunger now. There's a lot of hunger around because the harvest even is not enough. You find the rains have started, but in the course, the cessation, the rain has stopped. The crops are wilting and they dry, rendering the whole community hungry. So we have also outbreaks of diseases. Currently, we have cholera, which is really ravaging the country at the moment. A lot of malaria affecting children and older people too. So these are the things that we are experiencing as a nation when it comes to issue of climate change. It's really scary, and we don't know the extent as we go, because it seems it's growing each passing day. I don't know what the future carries when it comes to issues of climate change.
It's unfortunate to hear about the negative impact of climate change. But what are you doing to support the communities to cope with these disasters?
We are actually doing a lot of activities to make sure our communities, our people are safe. The issue is about building the capacity of the people to be able to cope with the climatic shocks, and of course bounces back when the disaster strikes. We can't stop the rains from coming. We cannot stop earthquake. We cannot stop these winds, but we can prepare our people to be ready. That's what we are doing as a project. We are actually forming the women groups. They come together to form groups where they access money to be able to do businesses, and that money is kept. That if there is a disaster, they're able to bounce back quickly by using that money as their capital. We are also teaching them about conservation agriculture, because with conservation agriculture, though you don't have rains, the rains are just small, or they have come, but they have actually stopped in the middle of a farming season. You can still actually keep the moisture in the soil through conservation agriculture and be able to actually harvest. Conservation agriculture also helps to actually sustain the environment, because we are able to build the soil profile and conserve the soil from erosion. So we teach our farmers to embrace the CA. We are also training our farmers on to be able to plant trees in the areas where they are, So this is what we are doing as a project, make sure we are able to actually mitigate the effects of climate change.
Thank you, Matthew. That is very comprehensive and very encouraging to hear how you're supporting the communities to build their support system so that they are able to cope with the disasters, whether it's the floods or the droughts. You did say that this is the 4th year in your 5-year project. And I'm wondering, what are the next steps after this project ends?
Yeah. We are already actually done the situation analysis for our 50 phase, which is Salima, Nchisi, and Doa. We have a heavy presence there of the Salvation Army. And the situation analysis has revealed gaps in terms of water, hygiene, and sanitation. So the next phase of the project is to look into addressing those problems in the 3 areas I've mentioned. We are looking at the Karonga project as our learning pad for the next phase. We are going to do proper evaluation, terminal evaluation of the project, and lessons learned will be used to define or inform the next project for the 3 areas. It's our prayer that the resources should be actually found so that we are able to support the people with the water, hygiene, and sanitation activities, which has been lined up for that particular area. In the situation analysis and the assessment that we have done, we have really seen glaring gaps when it comes to issues of water. People are drawing water from unprotected wells, which has actually exacerbated the cholera and the diarrhea issues in the area. People are drinking from this water, and at the end of the day, they get diseases which actually slowed them down in terms of development. They can't go to attend to their farm. They can't do any business because they are down with diseases. The little savings they have, they are all actually exhausted because of attending to actually hospital bills, which comes because people are getting sick. Children all the time, they don't go to school because they're always sick. Poverty has really actually having a big toll on these people. When you go and visit in the area, you're able to see the suffering, which is the area. So we thought of going in this area and try to support them in one or the other and see how best they can actually embrace the activities and, of course, move and progress together with them.
Thank you, Matthew. We continue praying for God's blessings on your work. We know that the lack of clean water and sanitation and hygiene often means the difference between life and death in the communities that you work alongside. And we pray that God would continue to provide the resources required and also enable you to have success as you work with the communities. Thank you very much for your time, and God bless you.
Thanks very much, Violet.